Welcome to the August 15th, 2023 special called City Council meeting for the purposes of amending the Lynchburg City Schools major classification funding for fiscal year 2024. Deputy City Manager Mr. Greg Patrick will provide a brief overview.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. The agenda item before you this evening is a budget amendment to shift funding that was previously appropriated from the school's contingency classification to the administration, attendance, and health classification. A total of $261,000 is being transferred. That is $11,000 for professional development and $250,000, up to $250,000 for legal fees. Should you have any additional questions, Dr. Reed Wodica from Lynchburg City Schools is here.
Okay, thank you very much. Vice Mayor Ferrelli? So moved. Oh, okay. Do I have a second? Second. Okay. All right, any discussion? Councilman Henderson?
They made the motion and second. Do they want to talk first?
I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Well, this is the resolution that I brought to our last meeting where we met with the school board and we had everybody there. The two items that we had on here, which I thought were pretty critical, one is training for the school board members to go on, and that's a small portion of it. The other portion we originally had on the previous resolution was, $55,000 is what we thought for in order to get unitary status, and unitary status means, back in the 70s. The school division had a desegregation order that said minority students must be bused and transported to other parts of town. And looking at this with the new school board, we have some students that are being transferred or transported 5.5 miles from one school to another. And in the meantime, they pass 9 or 8 other elementary schools. And so with the close to home or closer to home rezoning, I think that'll give the school board lots of options to figure out what buildings and where the students can go. It'll help the children. If they miss the bus, they can walk a half mile. It's hard to walk 5.5 miles down 501 to get to Heritage Elementary School. Another very good positive of that is for the parents. If they're dropping off their child, maybe a half a mile as opposed to 5.5 miles each way, dropping them off, picking them up. That's a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted effort that should be, better utilized. Also PTA meetings. We've heard from a lot of teachers that students wouldn't, or their parents wouldn't come to PTA meetings. This is another benefit, allowing the unitary status so they can rezone, so there can actually be a little closer and can actually get there. I know one principal had talked about, one parent that would have to take a cab to get to the PTA meetings or an Uber or whatnot. And having it closer, I think, will be beneficial for everybody. So going down this process, I think, hopefully this money won't be needed. I think, I thought I saw Randall Trost, who's an attorney, but, and speaking with him, it sounded like if there isn't any opposition, and I don't really know who would oppose this, when you can actually, it benefits everybody. Kids less time on the bus, parents closer to their child's school. You can walk, you can ride your bicycle, you can, all of these things that there may not be even any need for the legal challenge. I've heard anywhere from a number from, 0, maybe 55,000, and now we have up to possibly 250,000. So hopefully with that won't be needed, but hopefully that'll give ample opportunity to show the school board like what we hoped would be good, and I'm glad they're all here. Most of them are here tonight, and probably in agreement. And we would have done this last week had we had an opportunity at the end of the meeting for discussion rather than just the meeting ending kind of abruptly. But we're here now. This resolution is coming forward. And I'm thankful that now Chris is, when I presented this to him the other week, yeah, maybe it was just the timing of it, I don't know, but I'm glad you're in support of it now, so.
Councilwoman Dolan?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm just thankful that we're giving the school back the money that we took from them during our budget session. Thank you.
I guess just for the
sorry,
clarification, if I may.
Councilman Hawkinson?
Well,
I mean, we did give them more, but this money is not just going blindly, it's for a specific purpose, right?
Correct.
So it's not just, general utilization. This resolution specifically says, so the school board can go to their training, and also for the fighting, if there is need for legal challenge for unitary status, right? So it's
Yes.
not just generalized. Okay, thank you.
that's understood.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so before I call the vote, I just want to clarify, because I think transparency is very important here. If you all would like to go back and watch the video of our meeting last week, I was never shown or briefed on any prior resolution regarding these issues. You can see there were several people that were shown what I believe was the resolution during that meeting. I was not one of them. So I knew nothing about that. My decision to call this special meeting is basically solely because of conversations I had separate from that meeting that evening with Dr. Gupta, the chair of our school board, who had let me know that there was money needed for additional professional development training, which I'd been informed of a week prior to our joint meeting. I also had already been in discussion with Dr. Edwards the previous week in a meeting that we had here with the Vice Mayor and Winter about the cost associated with getting out of the agreement. And the reason why we were waiting was to find out what the attorneys told her, which we were informed of at the end of last week. So the amount in this resolution was based on previous conversations that I had had with both the chair and the superintendent, and I was not informed of any resolution that was supposed to be put on anything last Tuesday, nor, if you'd like to watch back the video, please show me somewhere where anyone made an effort to amend or make a motion during my closing remarks and my adjournment. With that said, let's please vote.
Councilmember Jones?
I get it. Just light it up and split up.
The motion passes 7-0.
Madam Mayor.
Vice Mayor Feraldi?
Move we adjourn. Madam
Do I have
Mayor.
a second?
Second.
Okay.
Madam Mayor.
The meeting is adjourned.
Madam Mayor.
I'm going to call the vote on the adjournment, please.
Madam Mayor.
Point of
Madam Mayor.
order, we had a second on the motion to adjourn.
Yes, so if there's a motion on the table, then, sounds like you've had a motion, you have a second. And
Yes.
if there's any discussion on the motion to adjourn,
I have
can be-
discussion.
Point of order, move to adjourn is a non-debatable motion.
Oh, that's not what you did a few weeks ago when you retaliated against me.
Call the question.
Calling
Mayor.
calling the question is a different motion.
Different motion.
Yes.
Call the question. I'm not saying-
Motion to adjourn is different than calling the question.
Absolutely. And
I would like to call the vote because I've called
point
the
of order.
vote.
all right, so there's a point of order. What is the point?
Point of order is that you said that we could have a discussion. If anybody has discussion, and looks like the mayor's attempting to silence me, and I'm trying to have discussion, so we should be able to have discussion around the motion.
Absolutely.
I would like to ask the parliamentarian if there's truth to the fact that the adjournment, a motion to adjourn is non-debatable.
So, all right, let's see. Typically, the motion to adjourn comes in the form of a simple adjournment. What I would submit yes, that's correct. Vice Mayor Feraldi is correct. The motion is not debatable and it cannot be amended. The nature of the motion is, in a meeting of the council, a motion to adjourn is always in order. The motion may be made only at the conclusion of action in a pending substantive matter. It may not interrupt deliberation of a pending matter. The motion is not debatable and cannot be amended.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to call the vote, please. Okay, the meeting is
Motion passes
adjourned. Our
5-2.
next regularly scheduled meeting will be held on September 12th, 2023 at 4 PM at City Hall, Council Chamber.